One of the things that I see the most with my clients and also with myself was just letting go of the relationship with alcohol. Why is it so hard to let go of this? It's causing problems. You can't control it. There's difficulties, problems with the family. Maybe your work is suffering from your drinking. There's all these things that might be going on. And not only that, but just the amount of time that you think about drinking, right? You think about it, you don't think about it, you try not to think about it, you recover from it, you engage in it. And so all the time that it gets wasted with the drink problem. And as a high performing, achieving professional, how can you give away that much time to alcohol? That's a great question, right? If you're like I was and knew I'm smart, I'm successful, I'm talented, I'm skilled, I can figure this out, and then I wasn't able to figure it out, it was terribly frustrating. So, why is it that we have such a hard time letting go of this relationship with alcohol? I think it's because we've been trained to depend on it. We have been influenced over and over and over again, given messages over and over and over again that drinking is normal. And not only is drinking normal, but abnormal drinking is normal. And what I mean by that is that we drink everywhere. We're drinking at the movie theaters, we're drinking at the bookstores, we're drinking at the ballet, we're drinking at the sporting events, we're drinking because we're new moms and we're at the mom club, we're drinking at the book club, we're drinking everywhere. There really isn't a place out there that we're not drinking. And why is this? It's a $1 billion industry. Alcohol makes billions of dollars. And that's why it's everywhere, because they're making a lot of money. Now we get the commercials all the time. In fact, I don't know if you were like me, but I was like excited about the Super Bowl commercials. Oh, what's Budweiser going to do this year? And so I grew up just maybe like you did, being uh desensitized to maybe even the problems of alcohol. I was looking at the commercials, waiting to see what they were going to put on next. It was exciting. Also, what are the messages that I got around alcohol? Oh, it's more fun. This is how we connect. This is how we look good. This is how we fall in love. This is how we celebrate birthdays, Christmas, Easter, bar mitzvah. It doesn't matter. That's what we do with alcohol. In fact, wait till you turn 21 and you can drink legally. And the expectation is I'm going to drink in high school. The expectation is I'm going to drink in college. The expectation is that I'm not going to have problems from alcohol. That's the other expectation, is that you can drink and have fun and have a good time, but don't develop a problem. Don't get a DUI. How do you think I got to the restaurant? I drove. How do you think I got to the party? I drove. So there's a lot of expectations out there. There's a tremendous amount of influence out in our society around drinking. We watch it on TV, we see it in the commercials, we see it around us, we hear the stories, we watch our family. I mean, we are influenced. We are influenced. Just like when you grow up in your family of origin, and maybe you're religious or you're not religious, you grow up being influenced by what people are doing around you and what they are saying and the messages that you're given. So maybe you grew up and you were Catholic, and that's what you decided you were going to do as an adult, and it's because your family did it and everybody did it and great grandpa did it and grandma did it and everybody did it, and so now we're all just Catholics, and you never questioned it because it was what the family did. Multiply that by society norms, multiply that influence by societal norms. And what do we end up with? We end up with drinking. Now, alcohol is a solvent. It's ethyl alcohol. That's what it is, literally. It's a poison. There's absolutely no research that indicates that any type of alcohol is healthy for us. We've been sold the idea that it's healthy for us, but it's not. It actually has no value whatsoever. Now, of course, we drink it because it does have some value, right? And the value is it shuts down the brain. That's what it does. That is what alcohol does to us. Its effect is it puts the brain to sleep. And so reasoning and judgment is first, it's in the prefrontal cortex. So that's the first thing to go when we start drinking. And then it works its way back to our brainstem. And in that area, that's where respiration and breathing is housed, and the control center for whether or not we stay alive. So if you drink too much, that shuts down and goes to sleep and you're dead. And that's just the deal. So there's no real benefits at all to drinking alcohol. Yet we've been sold this idea that we'll have more fun, that we'll enjoy each other more, we'll connect more, we'll be more beautiful. All of these messages that we have been given around alcohol, that we've been sold on alcohol, and we believe it. And then when we end up having a drinking problem, what ends up happening is there's a tremendous amount of guilt and shame. I can't handle my alcohol. What's wrong with me? Why are all these problems happening? How could it be me? We feel guilty. We feel ashamed. We think this shouldn't be happening. And I have to tell you again, it is a dependent substance, which means it creates dependence. If drank long enough, over a long period of time, enough times, you will become dependent on it. And this really happens with women much sooner than it does with men. Our bodies just are not built to tolerate alcohol. We are not built to do it. And so alcohol tends to impact us sooner, and happens in a shorter amount of time without having to drink very much. And so often when we're thinking about alcohol, the other thing that I want to point out is just that a lot of us think, well, I don't have a drinking problem because I still have my job, I still have my home, I still have my family, so I must not have a drinking problem. I have to tell you, like, that's the end of the line drinking problem, right? When you lose the house and the car and the family and the bank account and the job, all of it, when you lose all of that, you're way past the line of a problem, right? There are very early symptoms to show you, hey, you're hitting benchmarks now. You're hitting benchmarks now that indicate that if you continue to drink, you're going to have a problem. And I'm going to tell you one of the benchmarks that's a secret that most people do not know. Early on in your drinking, if you drink and you don't remember what happened, parts of the evening, all of the evening, little bits of the evening, you need your friends to fill you in on what happened, that is the first sign, the very earliest sign that you're going to have a problem with this substance down the road, that it's going to be a significant problem for you. That's the earliest sign, and that's the biggest secret.